going to be the question. So welcome, and I'm just asking the question, you know, it looks like we're all veterans here and wondering if anybody's done that. Raphael, I believe this is your first time in fund in Project Catalyst, right?
Yes, it's my first time.
First time. Anybody else?
2 proposals.
2 proposals. Okay, awesome. Anybody else? Blaine, have you done proposals before?
One second. No,
Oh.
I haven't done a proposal before. No.
You haven't, but you're
No.
part of Empower. So you've never had to try to, yeah, but you've never had to do.
I mean, yeah. I kind of joined the team like shortly after kind of that proposal was submitted. So
okay, so you've missed the you've actually missed this kind of stressful time. So we're trying to figure it out, you know, as Cardano4Climate, you know, we've done this dance before. We know there's a routine and we're trying to work our way into it. So
you're looking very fresh, Blaine. Isn't it like 1 in the morning for you?
11 p.m.
11
fresh as a daisy.
Is you're down south?
He's out east.
Yeah, I'm in Indonesia at the moment.
Okay, well, thank you for showing up. These are crazy times. We are working on it to get different time zones that are more human conducive. You know, you don't have to be.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. And I mean, it's huge that you show up at this late, you know, hour, and there's just like a whole nother world on the other side that we really want to embrace and we need the feedback, we need the insight. And so you're representing that.
And then on that, Dylan did a proposal actually about C4C Asia, East Asia. Maybe you can join him to there. And basically the idea is to have a kind of meeting after the town hall in Asia and start bringing together the community there. I can share with you the proposal, and if you want to join and be there, I think that would be great.
That's it. And I was just working on the, I've got the link right here because I was working on the proposal yesterday. So
perfect. If you can share with Blaine, and
we're trying to fire up Cardano4Climate East as well as Africa, but East, Dylan's really excited. Joe seems to be interested. It'd be great to get you on board as well and form kind of that kernel that grows C4C.
Fibonacci zero.
Hey, Tyler, welcome. Vlad, Tom, I know you've done proposals before. Vlad, just checking in to see if you're new to Project Catalyst, or have you maybe, you know, maybe one of you other ones recognize names. But anyways, welcome.
Yep. Welcome.
Yeah. So let's start. Anything else we want to start before we get into the slides? Before we slide into the slides. Anything else? Okay,
Here we
good to go.
Slides are coming. You guys see that?
We do. Thank you.
Excellent.
This is a slide I used a while back for challenge team. We are in this together. There's stories behind it. Some are true, maybe made up, westernized, but the thought behind it is that we are in this together. So next slide, please. Want to welcome you to one of these days. We've got to figure out what number this is for our weekly meetups, because we've been doing this regularly. I believe I read in one of the proposals since mid-October 2021. So that's a few weeks we've been here doing this over and over again. Next slide, please. Because we're here to stay, and we know that this is something we're going to keep doing and doing and doing. Next slide, please. Cardano4Climate, our mission is taking the mission of Cardano, making the world work better for all, and adding people, animals, and the living planet. Next slide, please. Our agenda today is an update, talking about Proposer Spotlight. You can see what's there. And next slide. So we've got lots going on. You're right in the middle of writing proposals, finalizing stuff. Lawrence, I just want to thank you. This is your second or third fund now. I'm not going to get you doing it. I'm not going to add you in right yet, but go ahead.
It's my second, yes. I did.
Second, so you knew this was coming, you were prepared, your proposal's in, you've got your spotlight in, and we're getting a chance to showcase people because we know Idea Fest is coming up. We've got things lined up to showcase proposals and do the marketing, so to speak, to get your impact proposals out. So we're also working on events. We have Carbon and Cardano coming up. Newman's going to go into that more. We've got an Impact Fest coming up just as voting starts. So all these things we're trying to line up. We've got forums on Telegram. Any kind of feedback that you have on those, please share with us, help us make them better. If we're missing something or something is locked, let us know. We just want to keep making this better for everybody. Dan, go ahead. Got a question?
Hi, Melanie. Yes, you were talking about the Impact Fest, and I might have heard that you were using the 2-minute videos also for the Impact Fest. Is that correct?
This is the
Awesome.
idea,
Okay.
right? And then you've got it ready for Idea Fest. You've got it ready for anything else. We are trying to work. It's not likely that we'll get a spot in town hall on a regular basis, but we have to do closeout reports for Cardano4Climate. You know, one of those videos is spectacular and you end up being, you know, the one on our closeout video or something. So, you know, it's worth investing a little bit of time in it. Dan, we'll give you the opportunity to go through yours and we can record it. We can do it again. We can do it again, you know, at the end of this meeting, and you can take up this video and chop it up and use it. You know, so that's the idea. But there will be opportunities. We'll have a list for voters to go through. Put your recording inside your proposal. You know, if you've got it done now before the proposal's done, it's in, and it doesn't have to be in the comments. So, you know, there's all sorts of stuff that we're trying to do to help get you in line. And with that, I believe we go to the next slide, and that will be Simon, over to you. I believe it's Simon.
Yes, if you can go one more slide, please. Yes, so I think maybe you know this timesheet already. This is the official timesheet for this fund. Right now we are still above the red zone, the innovation. Oh well, it's also in the innovation phase, but now we're going into the assess Q&A phase for whether the community advisors are going to assess the proposals, and yes, and then the proposals they will have the chance to flag the assessments that they don't agree with or that they think are unfair, and then the VCAs they will correct all that and see, or they will vote for if that was fair or unfair. And next slide, please. I want to highlight this a little bit because we need CAs, and as you can see, the assessors have made quite some money. So you can make quite a bit of money as a community advisor, which is quite ridiculous, given that it's only 1 week, or now it's going to be 2 weeks. And yeah, also if you want to be a community advisor and you don't know what to do or how this is going to work, I know in the after town hall today we're going to hold a workshop. Or also if you just want to refresh your memory and yeah, just join in there.
Catalyst
Thanks.
School has workshops as well coming up for how to be a community advisor, plus recordings as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. If you can't make the after town hall, we have a YouTube channel as well. I'm going to put it into the chat, but you can find it on the Catalyst School.
Perfect. So this is a way for us to look at other proposals. I found that being a community assessor helped me improve my proposals. I don't know about the rest of you, but you can go through these. It is to support the proposers, to also be, you're rating the proposals from 1 to 5. This gives a number for voters to look at. Your feedback is important, and it may help a proposer improve their proposal for next time. Nori, do you have anything else to add?
Is there anybody here who has not proposed in the dApps and integrations challenge? Because they're going to need a lot of help. There's a lot of proposals in there, and most of us have something in there. So yeah.
Which is the other thing. If you've got a proposal in a challenge setting, you cannot be an assessor in that. So
yeah, I think the dApps and integrations is going to be a challenging one to assess because many CAs are also proposers, and that's half the challenge. So I assume most people will have something in there.
yeah. All right. Well, take my name off the proposals. No, can't do that. Because you know, in all honesty, if you have anything to do with proposals, you're not to be in that challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sticky, but yeah.
So next slide, please. And I wish we had some sort of music, because this is sort of like do 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 do. This is our first proposal spotlight, and again, I want to thank Lawrence for putting this together. Newman, before we go on to this, so I believe when you share your Zoom, you have to have volume.
Yes.
Allow audio. You may have to unshare and share again, because we want to get this right as much as we possibly can. I'm not even sure how this works, because this is the first time for me putting a recording on a slide.
Yep. It looks like it says you're screen sharing, and then
there's a little checkbox, share audio as well.
Okay, I think I checked it and it's working. I don't think I have to restart the share, but let's
Okay,
just make
awesome.
sure.
Try the next. Well, you know what? If we do, then we have to. We'll be better the next time around, because we're also practicing this.
Yeah.
This is something new for us. So next slide, please. And this is the information about Lawrence's proposal, his YouTube video.
Here, I can post that in the chat.
Yeah, just next slide, please, because that's also on there as well. And then we'll add that to our YouTube so that people have all those links. So just imagine this, like, I know it's not a big deal. We don't get a lot of viewers on YouTube yet, but this information is also going to go on our YouTube channel. You know, the link to your proposal, your elevator pitch, a little bit of a spiel if you've got a 1 sentence about your proposal. It's going on our YouTube channel, so it just adds a little bit more. Next slide, please. And this is,
okay.
Drum roll, please.
Here we go.
Works.
Oh, here we go. And
no volume. Okay,
No.
stop. Yeah, so stop share. It'll all work.
okay, I'm going to stop sharing, and then I'm going to reshare.
Yep, perfect. See, this is where we work out the kinks in our small group, where you can practice. You're in a safe space with us, because our hope is that you guys all get funded, right? More impact.
How about that?
Still no volume.
You can hear me. Zoom. Any help?
Nori?
I think because Miro's grabbing your audio, you probably have to let it run on the speaker and then just hold your microphone against the speaker.
Let's try this. Thank you. Yep.
That's the quickest fix, I think.
Ecosystem needs more high quality open source projects.
Can you hear it?
Yes. Yeah, it's quite low though. You know what we'll do? Sorry, just stop it for a second though. Next time we do this, we'll do a run through first.
Yeah.
And make sure that we get this done for next time. So here we go. Bear with us.
Oh, you know what? I think if I put up my volume, can you hear me? Let's see. Okay, it might be loud. Okay, here we go.
fundraising of green and social good Cardano projects.
Better?
The lottery uses a novel approach.
It's pretty light. Any suggestions, Nori? And then we have to start the video from the beginning because we've missed quite a bit. So you have to go back a slide, I believe, and then try it again. Nori, any suggestions? Let's see.
I'm gonna pull up.
You're muted.
Nori, you're on mute.
Sorry, just, it should work if you just check the share audio box on Zoom when on the share screen page. There's a checkbox that you have.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. I'm gonna stop the share. And I'm gonna share again. Share sound, optimized for video clip. There you go.
There you go.
And let's
That's
try
the one.
this one.
So all of you have just learned something about Zoom. And you can do this too. Okay, away we go.
Is this yeah. So I'm gonna go back, come forward. Here we go.
The open source Cardano lottery, fundraising for green and social good projects on Cardano. The problem: Cardano green and social good projects need alternative fundraising options, and the Cardano ecosystem needs more high quality open source projects. The solution: continue to build out the open source Cardano lottery for fundraising of green and social good Cardano projects. The lottery uses a novel approach by making it entirely decentralized. This trustless model does not require trusting the lotto admin to run and operate the lottery. And all code is open source. How it works: there are three main actors in the lottery: the player, the sponsor, and the lotto admin. The player buys a lotto ticket in ADA, and if their ticket is the winning ticket, they receive 50% of the jackpot rewards. The sponsor receives the remaining 50% of the jackpot rewards and also gets a percentage of the ticket sales. The lotto admin receives staking rewards to help pay for expenses. Thank you for watching this video, and please consider voting for my proposal. Thank you.
Okay, so we didn't get it quite right. But see, this is what it's all about, right? We'll get this right, so that when it really matters, we're going to get this right. So the gray boxes, another thing we learned. So does that show up in the recording?
I would imagine, maybe.
If you share a screen and you have anything on top of the shared screen, it'll show up as a gray box for everyone else.
Okay.
Okay.
So you could actually
have like the chat or the participant list up on the screen.
That's what it was, is the chat. Yeah.
And it may show up in the recording as well. So we've learned a lot about Zoom. And Lawrence, thank you for being our first. How was that?
No problem at all. Thanks, guys, for doing this. And absolutely, it's a learning experience. It's all good. We'll get collectively better as we do these. So yeah, I'm all on board. Thanks for having me as the first go around. I appreciate that.
So next time, that means that next meetup you get to be first as well. I don't know if we'll have time for doing everybody's, but having the idea that we have 1 minute pitches allows us to add more and more. Yeah. And go ahead.
Yeah, I won't actually be here next week because I'm off on traveling. So I think this is good. This is great. I appreciate the publicity and getting people exposed to what I've got. And I again, Melanie, you gave me some feedback, which was great because I kind of compressed it and just carved out the really important pieces, which I think is important when trying to get a message across to people for the first time. So
yeah, awesome.
This is great. I appreciate this, and I agree. There's lots of other proposals. As Nori said, there's gonna be I think there's gonna be 500 proposals in the dApps integration probably by the end of the 30th. So absolutely, anything we can do to help elevate some of these climate and social good projects is great.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll do it and we'll work on it more. Newman and I are going to work through some practice runs on this. Definitely when you've got that bar open on the bottom on the screen, it grays out areas, and zooming in on the video also cuts out the edges, but we're going to get this right. So thank you for bearing with us.
Okay.
How about we carry on with our slides?
Okay, here we go.
And move on. We're halfway through our main meetup, and let's see what's coming next. I think, okay.
How do I get, there we go. I think
So
this is the next
you, Newman.
Yep. proposal workshop. So we did a sort of a flash activity this recently in the last week and a half or so, where we put out we put on the schedule on our calendar times, 2-hour blocks to just meet and talk over proposals. I think it went well. We made a few very deep and good connections and formed some relationships. I think it was good that we're willing to go on to the next step, and I think at the next fund round we'll do it again. Does anybody else have anything to share briefly about their experience with the community proposal workshops?
Well, that's when I got a chance to go over Lawrence's first video and give him my feedback on it. He comes back with a shorter video. Awesome. Again, we spent some time as well, working on, we didn't really get to the proposal. It felt more like another meeting. But again, I believe those are all important and helpful.
Yeah, and I like the idea of something special for this sort of busy time, and to say, hey, we have support, even if it's just to sort of hang out and just hear a voice. Just the personal connection was really great and meaningful.
Great question. Here's a voice you can hear, and it's this awesome sounding voice. This fest that you're proposing, are you going to have this in C4C normal time, or Melanie, you mentioned something about after town hall, because next week after town hall is going to be blocked out, from my understanding.
So no breakout rooms next week?
No breakout rooms next week. They're trying to have a monopoly for Inner Circle is what it looks like. I don't know if that's happened, but that's what I was told. But
okay, yeah. So the thing is that Sean has offered to take breakout rooms. This is a whole other thing. I don't have the time to be able to do this, but if we can have representatives from Cardano4Climate signing up for any breakout rooms that we can to represent our proposals, you can show Lawrence's video. I believe we have the opportunity to have a slide deck, record the room, all sorts of stuff. So it is a way for the community to be able to collaborate and also draw in other impact proposers, because I keep going in idea scale, and every time I do, there's somebody new and they aren't part of our community yet. So
yeah, I have a breakout. Cardano for Seniors has a breakout room this afternoon. I do have a proposer from Ghana, part of WADA, I think, has reached out to me. So I've asked them to represent their proposal towards seniors in Ghana. But if you have anything that you want to talk about today, I asked for the breakout room, but I'm so in the middle of working on proposals. I don't have much prepared. And I know I owe you a slide link for my proposal to you guys, but if you have anybody and you want to come in and use part of the breakout room.
Sean, you may want to do that. Yeah, you may want to jump in there as well, or definitely take use of it. So this is something else that somebody else has to pick up. Hosting the breakout room after town hall, representing Cardano4Climate, doing a sign up sheet, other different hosts, having the recordings, having the links, we've got a spreadsheet now with that's growing. I think the last time I looked was 21 proposals, impact related. And that's not even the half of it. Everybody's busy, and I think some people like Sean said you don't feel good about sending that in if you don't have your link to your presentation. Don't worry about that. Send it in. You can send in the link at another time. Just sooner than later is good.
Yeah, no, the target is 100 proposals, and I think we will pass it. I'm quite sure.
And the cool bit is that we can do it as a proposer. If you come across an idea scale proposal that's impact related, you can submit it yourself. Nori, bless his heart, is working on some Dework bounties. to reward people for doing this and submitting those down the road. You know, so we can start collecting it so that Melanie doesn't have to go at the end of Fund 9 and go through, how many proposals are there right now? 1,200, right? And find all the impact proposals. This is a community effort.
Is it up to 1,200? Last I saw it was 800 and change.
Of proposals.
Yeah, because of the
Awesome.
submission date is up till the deadline, you know, a lot of those proposals will come in last minute. So I would be surprised if it's less than 1,000 proposals.
Okay, cool.
And
Hey,
a lot of those
Melanie,
will
you
be
know,
withdrawn.
Melanie, by the way, you should edit this video and put it out for the cat awards, because whatever that cat's doing behind you is fantastic.
Very entertaining. Very, very
Oh,
entertaining.
good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Okay. So maybe we, yes, sorry about that. Sorry for the distraction. Okay, so let's get back to slides. Thank you. So work groups, and that gray box is still there, Newman. I hate to say it, but those boxes.
There's a gray box, huh?
Are you in presentation mode? Maybe that's what's the difference.
Okay.
I think it may be just the Zoom controls themselves at the bottom of the screen that are covering it.
Oh, check this out. How about this? Better? Is that better?
No, oh, there it is. Now it's better. Yep. Awesome.
Okay.
So impact proposals on Cardano, amazing. If we could have the 100 proposals, that's 100 minutes, 1 minute proposal, 1 minute each, it'd be overwhelming. But we could do this. Having the presentations, the links, this is happening right when we vote for Fund 9. So that's the whole idea, to get people, the recording of it out. Here could be a voting list. Talk about manipulating the crowd, eh? So we have event planning meetings on Mondays. Please join us. Telegram, there we go. Newman's shared it in the chat.
Yep.
Next slide.
Here we go. C4C GTPBL. I stole it from you, Melanie. I wanted to say it.
Nori's going to carry on with this.
Yeah, so as a community, we are experimenting with Gimbal Labs tokenomics. We're part of their first A0 distribution and experiment. And we're also experimenting with Dework as a means of making bounties for all of the different projects that we've been funded for. And the thought is to do either part, or if it really works well, do all of it through bounties, and then the community can contribute to the goals of each of the funded proposals that we have. We have 4 that we're taking through Dework right now, onboarding through events, community collaboration standards, C4C hub operations, and I forget what the 4th one is. But they're all up there in Dework. And I just put a link to a task in chat for today's meeting here today. So for you showing up here today, we want to reward everybody with 50 gimbals. So please go through that task, submit proof of work, which is basically to say I was here, and log in with your Discord handle so we can tie it back to you, and then you'll get that reward when we work with the treasury guys on doing that. I think we're going to go on a monthly cadence or something to minimize the transaction fees. But it's just a way of saying thank you for showing up. Participation is valued. Gimbal Labs is doing a gimbal token experiment, and this is kind of our way to contribute to that project. We're rewarding participation, similar to how Swarm is doing it, so that gimbals kind of show up as a measure of participatory engagement. And maybe someday you'll be able to exchange it for something else. There's talk like people will do proposal help or something in exchange for gimbals, and we're trying to create maybe an experimental closed economy or circular economy using these tokens that is kind of just experimental. We're playing with it right now. They don't really have a lot of meeting, but we're Swarm and C4C are using it for tokens of participation. So we can kind of track over time, who's participating where, how much. So we just want to jump in and do that as well. But it also is a sneaky way to get everybody into Dework and clicking in it and learning how to use the tool, because this is where we're going to run our bounties. And so the tool itself, if you click around, once you click on that, you'll see different projects. There's 4 of them. And then we have a 5th project just for our ongoing C4C collaboration stuff. And then it is tied to our Discord server. So every time there's a bounty posted, you can see in the Discord server for C4C a task appear, and you can have conversations there around the task or do different collabs. So we're really experimenting with all of these tools, and it's ultimately backed by GitHub. So all of these things go into GitHub and they're recorded, and that's for a transparency and traceability of all these actions. So hopefully at the end, we can just look at GitHub and see everything that was done and use that to make our monthly reports and our closeout reports to IOG for these projects. But Dework gives it a nicer interface, so you don't have to know anything about GitHub. If you don't want, it's just going to happen. And thanks for sharing that, Newman.
Yeah, I just realized, I was like, well, am I ambitious or courageous enough to try to share my screen? But anyway, this is what the Dework looks like. If you haven't seen, it's not scary at all. You know, these are the different proposals, open tasks, very, very good.
And so the thing is too, that we'll go through this over and over again. You know, this is the beginning, our first iteration of this. Yeah, I love the fact that the gimbal is a balancing mechanism, and we have no other way of balancing. We volunteer, we do stuff. There's no way of showing what we've done. And this is kind of the beginning of thinking outside the box, outside of fiat. Nori, you mentioned that gimbals don't have any value to them. They don't have any fiat value to them, but to me, they are balancing. And the value of those gimbals to me is the potential that we don't see yet, beyond monetary value. And so jump in this experiment. We've been doing it for months now with Gimbal Labs, which is a phenomenal group led by James, who's trying not to be the leader and shift the work to other people. But, you know, Dan, you know, anybody that's in Gimbal Labs knows that this is a really incredible community and of developers that help support. And so, especially when we come from the outside world on the grounds, don't know anything about technology, coming to Gimbal Labs, you know, is absolutely warm and welcoming. So great. Next slide. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Anything else? So maybe Newman, you wanted to add something.
Well, no, I think that's covered it. It is this idea of the safe space, which or a zone for creativity, you know, or a place where you can bring your whole self. That's what we're trying to cultivate, and that's the Project Catalyst. I think that's why, you know, folks resonate with it. Certainly why I resonate with the Project Catalyst is that preamble that we say.
And then coming up, next slide is going to be about the event. And this ties in with bounties as well, because what happens in a community is a few people do all the work and it gets exhausting. We might get paid for it, you know, in the long run, but this bounty system is to be able to help us all find the place where we can contribute, where we can own Cardano4Climate as our own project, contribute, be rewarded for it, recognized for our work, and find our ikigai, the place where it works for us and it works for the community. So next event is on Carbon and Cardano.
Just before we move to the event, I just wanted to say, to close out this topic, we meet on Fridays to discuss the token PBL stuff. So if you're curious on how that's unfolding or want to contribute or take part, join the Friday meetings. We meet at, I forget what time. It's 8 a.m. my time. But
it's 2:30 p.m. UTC, I believe, at 2:30 or 3. I'll drop the link into the Telegram chat where it all happens. So everybody's welcome to join that. It is a creative space, that's for sure.
Yeah, and we talk about gimbals, but the bounties for events and operating the hub and taking notes and all that are actually going to also be paid out in ADA. We have a small treasury that we've been funded to do a lot of these things. So we're also trying to figure out how to spend that money, and we're experimenting with bounties to reward people or incentivize people to take on these tasks and contribute and help the team run and fulfill our project goals for the stuff we've been funded for.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah, and
on?
one example was the closing report on the monthly report on the 24th that we did, and we launched a bounty for it, and it was paid nicely, and people that could come and ask the bounty and basically do the monthly report. So follow up on that, and yeah.
It's a great way for us as the community to sort of know what is needed and then jump in and do it. It's sort of very clear. It's not like, oh, well, you gotta, it's very, very open and very clear on that Dework. Just bookmark it, take a look at it. And then, yeah, I think it's a good way to do it.
I signed up for Dework a couple days ago.
Nice. Yeah, it can be a little daunting, but it's not bad. It's not bad.
We'll
You can
get it figured out.
Yeah.
Tom, we can do this. Tom, as seniors, we can do this.
Yes, I want to give kudos to you guys. I have been following you for a while now. You're slowly sucking me into it. Just when I thought I could, yeah. But your style of building a community is impressive, and
thank you.
It's something I'm going to try to steal from you for Cardano.
Just don't steal our people, because they are what. No, just you do what
steal
you gotta
everything.
do.
Steal everything.
No,
it's all shareable. You can copy and paste.
There's no sign up bonuses for coming over to see
no,
us.
But see, it is these people that make this community.
Correct.
This
and
amazing.
And they're fantastic.
Yeah.
There's fantastic people in this community. I've sat in on some of the pre-planning things, and you guys are being anally retentive in how you're planning this thing out. I think it's phenomenal. You're not missing much. Newman, you skipped a link there on sharing your screen, but that's okay. Things are going to break, shake up, rock and rattle and roll. But you guys are doing fantastic.
Keeping it real. Keeping it real. Yeah.
Yeah. Kudos.
Thank you.
That way other people can feel they can do it too, right? That's the big thing, is that we're not so perfected, that we and polished that people can't feel like they can't.
Yeah.
Take this up.
If you are listening on YouTube, come in and show us how to be a Zoom master. There is a need. You can really pilot this thing. And I can share with you, if you're like, oh man, I'd like to learn how to do that. I can share it with you, just the things that we just now learned and you witnessed. Say you were there, Fibonacci 1, 0 to 1.
Awesome. And that's the snail. Like, for those of you that don't know, you see the snail, we've got a picture of a snail. We're building and building and building and building to the point where we are going to have a huge impact through Cardano on our world in a good way. There's Simon. He's just put the snail in, original snail. And the other one Tyler has as the logo is Jem from Turkey. Another incredible member created this. Yeah, who has just had a new baby. So
reveal, yay.
Let's move on. Newman,
okay.
This is yours.
Oh, yep. Here we go. Ah, yes. If you are a moon watcher like me, you know that it is a new moon. This summertime new moon in Cancer is kind of wild because it's the full flood of summer, along with that sort of new moon, quiet and reflective time. I think it's important as a community for us to reflect. We even put it in during the Project Catalyst with our cool down week. That's kind of a new moon ritual or ceremony to sort of let things be quiet, to soften, to sink down like this guy into the tide pool, into the ocean, and just allow yourself and your intuition and your emotions to come out. This time is more about questions rather than answers, which can be very dynamic when the sun is so summery and everything is growing. But cut yourself some slack. It's not necessarily do less. It's more like go with the flow. You can really ride that yang energy of the summer if you season it well with the yin. Stay still in your action. This is a very, very martial arts Tai Chi type of thing. And then with the new moon, and I'll try to wrap up. With the new moon is to be easy and expectant. It's like what you ask the question, what will this next phase be, without trying to jump to conclusions. It's sort of like in yoga class when they ask you to follow your breath, but not change it. It's very difficult to do. But who and what is being born, like which seeds are sprouting, what is the Fibonacci zero? What is the butterfly that's flapping its wing that's going to make this giant impact? And it takes stillness and quietness to hear that. So I just offer you some stillness and quietness.
Thank you, Newman. Yeah, thank you for that, because this is a very busy time, and it's
For
nice
sure.
to take that breath. And we're halfway through 2022. We're at the midpoint, middle of summer, new moon. It's we're at the proposal deadline. It's a pretty cool spot to be. And I'm really glad to be here with all of you. So.
I'd just like to add on the same line, it is the journey, not always the destination, because even my journey so far, again, yeah, I've been working on this lottery concept, but I've met so many other people, and other people have reached out to me that I've involved in other projects now. So it's the journey. So embrace it, enjoy it, and you might get to the destination, but it might be something that you didn't expect to begin with. So.
I think this is a very important point, Lawrence, because we tend to see, okay, what's your KPI? I can get to 100,000 people within the data, right? That's what will define success. No, but the journey, the spreading the love like Newman just did, and the mindset, and yeah, I think that's experience basically, not the target, but experience. Very important.
In this moment in time, when I'm looking at your faces or images, whatever, and knowing, that we're far, far away, but we are connected. So it feels like very cool.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you all for that. I think and I think we're on time. I think I'm always mindful of the time, the hands of time, they just sort of keep going.
So we'll go through the slides. This is what happens in the Cardano4Climate, Cardano4Climate. We are the community surrounding everybody else now. These are the other, if you want to share the slides, Newman, these are the other groups that are coming up in, and Tom and Sean, I don't believe we have your slide yet for Littercoin that meets on Thursdays at 5 p.m. UTC, I believe.
I'm going to build it, Sean. I'm building it. I'm taking it on as a task.
Sean, Tom, when you have your meetings, we'll add your slide to this too. So I believe we have Swarm slide is first, Newman.
Yeah.
Right.
And the Swarm meets on Saturdays. And
advance your slide, please.
Yeah.
I think you're.
Here we go. Yep. Swarm meets on Saturdays, and we're just gonna.
Tom, you talk about copying us as a community. We copy and paste so much of what Swarm does. They're the ones that started with the Dework. Yeah. And this is the beauty of this community within Catalyst. We work together. There is some competition, but we work in collaboration.
Here we go. LATAM Town Hall on Thursdays.
And I haven't updated these slides recently, so I believe these show up at Town Hall as well. So there would be more current dates.
Yep. And Africa Town Hall, the second Friday. Okay, and Pacific Town Hall every other Wednesday. One
There's-
tonight?
There's one tonight.
Yep.
We'll be all bleary-eyed from all the proposal writing, but
Oh man.
Yeah.
I might
Happening
come
in
in for
about-
some emotional
In
support.
about 9 hours for those of you that are in those hours where you should be sleeping right now.
Or about what, 8 hours, 10 hours from the deadline, the submission deadline.
yeah. So if you need a little support just before the final push, show up and
Yeah.
we'll have it. Provide
Pacific
a warm place for you.
Pacific Town Hall always has the best coffee.
And Fund 11, no, Fund 10. We hoped that the core team would not be working the week before proposal deadline. We're working,
That's our goal. That's the goal.
Yoram is working, Nori's working. We're gonna try not to do that next time.
Yeah.
We're working, that's our goal. Next slide.
Okay, here we go. Catalyst Women. Not
Not
celebrating,
just women.
not just women, celebrating diversity of all groups, but focusing on the feminine perspective. Actually, the women's group would be a great new moon thing.
Yeah, I relied on that one thing. So I just shared with you a link about change climate applying to Catalyst. And this is with the help also of the Juliana and Cardano Foundation and myself. I mean, we kind of onboarded them. They are writing a few proposals. And it's a group of 400, among other 400 women dedicated to climate change. And we are trying to onboard them and connect to our community as well. So yeah, let's support that. That would be wonderful.
Nice.
Have you added it to the list?
I not yet. I just got the message that it's onboarded, but it will be.
Perfect.
Sounds good. Okay. And this
Here
is
we are,
us. This
meeting
is us.
Wednesdays regularly.
All right. And Innovatio. And these on Fridays.
That's the same time as our C4C GTPBL. But, you know, if someone shows up at these and give us some feedback, let us know. It's what the community is about.
Yep.
Make connections.
And the Gimbal
And
Labs.
Gimbal Labs. This slide, I got to say, I watched this in town hall for many, many, many months before I actually joined one of these. And again, really good group. Really good group.
All right. All right. And
Not that I'm showing favorites. You know what?
okay.
All right, so we have a few proposers at this point. We have breakout rooms, so we have options today. If you've got a proposal and you need actually feedback on the written part of it, let's do that in a breakout room. If you want to practice your presentation, let's stay in the main room. If you want to do something else, we'll send you off into your own room, send you to your room. What's the verdict here? What do people need? What's coming up in your heart?
I would love to work on or ask some feedback on the developer events that we've got going in the developer ecosystem challenge. And that's a written one. So if I could, I might jump in a breakout room and sort of show that off, see what we can come up with as we polish.
And do you want, I'm going to share the link to that document.
That'd be great.
Okay, so this is a Word document at this point. It's not actually in idea scale, hasn't been submitted, and it's an editable one. So I trust all of you not to, I think it's reversible.
Yeah.
Reversible, so.
Thank you very much.
And again, Cardano4Climate writes proposals as a community, and we often leave those proposals to the last minute, helping other people. So if you've got some time, feedback's greatly appreciated. Simon, challenge setting, challenge.
Yeah, so we have the well, Climate Change the Challenge proposal, and I'm going to post a link here as well for that. If you, well, today is the last day to make any changes, and we'll also post the working document where you can make a comment on the document. And I'm not sure, are we making breakout rooms today?
Yep.
Totally up to, what the group wants to do. We can make extra groups. You'll see where people show up, whoever you want to connect with, follow them.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to have a breakout room where you can also, talk with me personally. I was, I think, in the last funds, at least, I was mostly looking through the proposal and trying to, get as much into it as possible.
And I did create another document because since I believe at one of our core team meetings, we've added, we worked with Dan's KPIs on the SDGs. We created another document. It's called Regeneration, the Opportunity for Cardano. So this is going to be something, that we can decide as a community, do we do one or the other, or do we do both?
Absolutely. Yes, right. Last time we talked about changing the title. So I think having something like that would probably be better.
I've added a link to a document here. It's very, very messy. I've copied and pasted from other, what I do. It's like this mess, and then you clean it up afterwards and get the pieces that are important. But I did work on that yesterday along the lines of regeneration, the opportunity for Cardano. So we can decide, I'll either drop in your group or continue on here. Okay, so I count 4 breakout
and
rooms
I can, if anyone needs help with the proposals still, so I'm happy to support.
I think I can create breakout rooms. I'm going to try. Here we go.
So let's do 5 just to
Okay.
be on the safe side.
Add a room.
And Dan, you hang out with me in the main one here. Newman, you're going to have to shut off the recording at some point, and we'll take that over.
Let's shut off the recording. I'm all about that. We keep the time going. It's about an hour. Any last words? I do want to thank you all. That's a good time to just say, hey, thank you for coming. Actually, I see Christopher there, Raphael, really, Baba Elliott, Bruno, Blaine's,
brother,
all the gang. Really
and
appreciate you all.
We'll do a screenshot too, right? So that we have a record of who actually showed up in case you try and claim a bounty. And
of course, yeah, here we go, screenshot. Oh, wait a minute. I'm gonna take an actual screenshot. So show your best faces now. Okay, ready? Okay. I got you.
Yeah, awesome.
Oh,
okay, hang on, we got to do this again.
Yeah.
Give people the chance to come off and share your video just for a second.
Sure.
We can maybe use this as a promo for C4C. Tyler
Here we go,
in the
Tyler's,
mushrooms.
Yeah, Tyler's hard at
Awesome.
work.
Yeah,
Love is
Baba,
all right.
nice
Here
to
we
see
go.
your face. Bruno, are
Raphael.
you there? Tom, come back online if you can. Raphael, I saw you for a second. Bruno,
There we go.
Tom.
There we go. All right.
Okay,
Hey,
Bruno,
all right.
maybe he's doing so. Oh, he's coming. Okay, awesome.
Nice.
Let's do it.
We got
Okay.
everybody.
Okay, make the face. Make the face.
There, we're still recording too. So awesome.
Okay.
Nice to see your faces.
Thank you.
This
Thank
is
you,
like
everybody.
college exams. This is the cram before finals.
Oh my goodness. So true.
That's why we offered the office hours, recognizing that this is, support.
I never realized back then how important time was.
Mm-hmm.
And it now has become the most valuable asset in my tool bag.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
The other thing about time is that when we stress, it's like we speed up time and we take a chunk of our life. And I just really feel like we have to stop doing that. When you're younger, it doesn't feel, it feels like you've got this endless amount of energy. I can save that to the last minute. When you get older, you recognize the price you've paid when you pay it in stress. So
Well, when I was younger, I hyperventilated. Now I just belly breathe and I Buddha breathe, and it calms me down. So,
awesome.
you know,
Well
not
done.
hyperventilating, but just directing the breath to
Or
other
GABA.
direction.
That's a good one
GABA's
to
in-
do it.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much. I'm going to shut down
Okay,
the
so
recording. Bye. Bye, YouTube.
5 breakout rooms will teach